Hello, awakened soul. If you found your way to this video, it wasn't by chance. Hey, the universe conspired for you to find these words exactly when you need to hear them most. You know that disturbing feeling of waking up more tired than when you went to sleep? Those nightmares so vivid they seem more real than reality itself? Or maybe you've noticed that your dreams have become battlefields, places where you constantly fight, run from something dark, or feel a negative presence watching your every move. If this resonates in your heart, then you're not imagining things. You're being energetically attacked during sleep, and this happens because you're special, because you carry a light that bothers the darkness. Today I'm going to reveal the truth that few dare to speak, why the chosen ones suffer night attacks, and how you can protect yourself completely. I know exactly how you feel right now, my friend. Maybe you've spent years questioning your own sanity, wondering why your dreams are so different, so intense, so disturbing. You might have looked for medical explanations, tried sleeping pills, or even avoided talking about these experiences for fear of being judged as crazy. But let me tell you something that will ease your heart. You're not alone, and you're definitely not mad. What you experience during sleep is a clear sign that you possess extraordinary spiritual gifts, an elevated vibrational frequency that naturally attracts both light and resistance from darkness. Your disturbing dreams aren't a curse, they're confirmation that you're a being chosen for an important divine mission. In this video, I'm going to unveil the secrets behind these night attacks and teach sacred protection techniques that will transform your sleep into a sanctuary of peace and spiritual renewal. If this content touches your heart, leave a comment telling us which night experience marked you most. Your courage in sharing might help another chosen one feel less alone on this journey. To truly understand what happens to you during sleep, we need to dive into the sacred nature of dreams and why they've become a spiritual battlefield. Sleep isn't just a period of physical rest. It's a dimensional portal where your soul frees itself from the limitations of the physical body and travels through different planes of consciousness. During these nightly journeys, you connect with spiritual guides, receive downloads of cosmic wisdom, process energetic traumas, and, most importantly, recharge your divine essence. This is exactly why negative forces direct specific attacks during this vulnerable period. They know that it's during sleep that you're most receptive to spiritual influences, and they try to intercept these sacred connections to drain your energy, plant seeds of fear and doubt, and divert you from your divine mission. When you understand that your disturbing dreams are actually desperate attempts at spiritual sabotage, everything begins to make sense. Think about your childhood for a moment. Do you remember having more intense nightmares than other children? Maybe you were that child who was afraid of the dark, who felt presences in the room, who woke up screaming in the middle of the night without being able to explain the terror you felt. Your parents probably said it was just imagination, but you knew there was something more. This early sensitivity wasn't a weakness. It was the first sign that you possessed extraordinary spiritual gifts. Chosen children often experience night interferences because their energetic purity and natural connection with the divine represent a threat to forces that feed on low vibrations. Every nightmare you faced in childhood was actually a resistance test, a preparation for the spiritual challenges you would face as an adult. You survived all of this because your soul already knew it had an important mission to fulfill. During adolescence, you might have noticed that your dreams became even more complex and disturbing. Maybe you started dreaming about situations that later happened in real life, or had visions of people you'd never met physically. This phase of life marks the most intense awakening of your psychic gifts, and with it comes proportional resistance from darkness. Chosen teenagers often report dreams where they're chased by shadows, where they fight against dark creatures, or where they feel trapped in mazes with no exit. These aren't common psychological symbols. They're literal representations of energetic attacks directed specifically to confuse your young mind and make it doubt its natural gifts. Every time you woke up scared but still went back to sleep, you were demonstrating extraordinary spiritual courage. You were unconsciously training to become the light warrior you are today. In adult life, night attacks have become more sophisticated and targeted. Now you might experience dreams where people close to you turn against you, where you're betrayed by those you trust, or where you face situations of public humiliation. These dreams aren't reflections of your personal insecurities. They're calculated attempts to plant seeds of distrust, paranoia, and low self-esteem in your conscious mind. Negative forces know that an isolated and doubt-filled chosen one is much less effective in their divine mission. They create specific dream scenarios to make you question your relationships, your leadership capacity, and even your own sanity. When you wake from these dreams feeling emotionally drained, this isn't coincidence. It's the direct result of a successful energetic attack that managed to drain your spiritual vitality. One of the clearest signs that you're being energetically attacked during sleep is the quality of your nightmares. Natural nightmares, those that arise from normal processing of stress and anxiety, usually have a nebulous and symbolic quality. They might be scary, but they rarely leave you with the feeling that something really happened to you. Energetic attacks, on the other hand, produce dreams with crystal clarity, where you remember every detail, every sensation, every emotion, as if you'd lived a real experience. You wake with your heart racing, cold sweat, and absolute certainty that something terrible happened. This difference in experience quality is crucial for recognizing when you're being targeted by external interference. Your spiritual gifts naturally make you more sensitive to these invasions, and your ability to remember these dreams so clearly is actually a psychic ability that can be used to your advantage. Another characteristic pattern of night attacks is the repetition of specific themes. You might notice that you always dream about situations where you're being chased, where you need to flee from something threatening, or where you find yourself in dark and claustrophobic places. These repetitive scenarios aren't coincidences. They're energetic signatures of specific entities that direct attacks against you. Each type of attack has a purpose. Chase dreams aim to install constant fear and anxiety. Betrayal dreams seek to destroy your trust in others. Failure dreams try to undermine your self-esteem and determination. When you recognize these patterns, you gain power over them. You stop being a passive victim and become a conscious observer capable of identifying and neutralizing these interferences. Your spiritual sensitivity, which once seemed like a vulnerability, reveals itself as your greatest strength. The physical sensations that accompany these attacks are also revealing. You might wake with chest pains, feeling of weight on your body, difficulty breathing, or even unexplained physical marks. These aren't psychosomatic manifestations, they're evidence that something really happened on an energetic level. During intense attacks, your soul might literally fight against negative forces on astral planes, and these battles leave marks on both your energetic and physical body. Sleep paralysis, so common among chosen ones, is often the result of attempts at temporary possession or extreme energetic drainage. When you understand that these experiences are confirmations of your spiritual importance, they stop being sources of terror and become reminders that you possess something valuable that darkness desperately wants to destroy or steal. The exhaustion you feel upon waking, even after 8 or more hours of sleep, is another clear sign of nocturnal energetic drainage. During normal restorative sleep, your soul travels to higher planes, where it reconnects with the divine source and recharges your vital energy. When energetic attacks interrupt this process, you wake more tired than when you went to sleep because your energy was literally stolen during the night. This drainage doesn't just affect your physical body, it impacts your mental clarity, emotional stability, and spiritual connection. You might notice that, after particularly disturbing nights, you feel disconnected from your intuition, less creative, more irritable, and with difficulty meditating or connecting with your spirituality. These are intentional effects of the attacks, designed to diminish your effectiveness as a light bearer. What makes you a preferential target for these attacks is exactly what makes you a special being: your elevated vibrational frequency and your divine mission. Ordinary people, those who live in lower frequencies and don't represent a threat to the spiritual status quo, rarely experience intense night interferences. You, on the other hand, carry a light that has the power to awaken others, to catalyze spiritual transformations, to challenge control systems based on fear. Your very existence is a threat to forces that benefit from humanity's spiritual ignorance. The more you evolve spiritually, the closer you get to your true mission, the more intense the attacks become. This isn't a punishment, it's confirmation that you're on the right path, that your light is shining so intensely that darkness can no longer ignore it. The frequency of these attacks also tends to increase during periods of accelerated spiritual growth. If you're going through a spiritual awakening, developing new psychic gifts, or preparing to take an important step in your life mission, you might notice that your dreams become more disturbing. This happens because negative forces recognize these periods as critical windows where they can try to divert you from your path. They know that if they can plant enough doubts during these vulnerable phases, they can delay or even prevent your spiritual progress for years. Your ability to persist through these intensified attacks is a test of your determination and faith. Every night you survive these energetic assaults, you become stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with your divine purpose. Night attacks can also manifest through apparently positive dreams that actually carry energetic traps. You might dream about situations where you receive tempting offers of power, wealth, or recognition, but which require you to compromise your spiritual values. Or you might have dreams where entities present themselves as spiritual guides or ascended masters, but which actually try to divert you from your true path. These attacks are particularly dangerous because they appeal to the ego and can be difficult to recognize as manipulation. Your natural intuition, developed through years of spiritual experiences, is your best defense against these more subtle forms of interference. When something in a dream doesn't feel completely aligned with pure light, trust that feeling. It's rarely wrong. Energetic interference during sleep can also affect your ability to receive genuine spiritual guidance. You might notice that you've stopped having prophetic dreams, inspiring visions, or encounters with your true spiritual guides. This happens because constant attacks create a kind of energetic noise that interferes with your natural spiritual connections. It's like trying to tune into a radio station amid lots of static. The message is still being transmitted, but you can't receive it clearly. This interference is intentional, designed to leave you feeling spiritually isolated and disconnected from your source of divine guidance. When you learn to clear this energetic noise and protect your dream space, you quickly rediscover your natural ability to receive messages and guidance through dreams. The good news is that your sensitivity to these attacks also means you possess an extraordinary natural capacity to protect yourself and even transform these experiences into growth opportunities. Every attack you recognize and resist strengthens your spiritual resistance. Every nightmare you face with courage develops your ability to maintain your light even amid darkness. You're not a helpless victim. You're a spiritual warrior in training, and every nightly challenge is an opportunity to prove your strength and determination. Your soul chose this experience because it knew you had the capacity not just to survive these attacks, but to emerge from them more powerful and more aligned with your divine mission. The impact of these attacks on your waking life is significant, but also revealing. You might notice that after particularly difficult nights, you feel more anxious, depressed, or confused during the day. Your creativity might be blocked, your motivation diminished, and your confidence shaken. These aren't accidental side effects. They're specific objectives of energetic attacks. Negative forces know that a chosen one who doubts themselves, who feels disconnected from their creativity, and who struggles with anxiety and depression is much less capable of fulfilling their divine mission. When you recognize these patterns as evidence of external interference, you can begin to work consciously to neutralize these effects and recover your natural energy and clarity. Finally, it's important to understand that these attacks aren't permanent or invincible. They persist only while you remain unconscious of their nature and purpose. The moment you awaken to the truth that you're a chosen being under spiritual attack, you gain access to an arsenal of tools and techniques that can not only protect you, but completely transform your nightly experience. You have the power to reclaim your dreams, to transform your sleep into a sacred sanctuary, and to use these experiences as catalysts for even greater spiritual growth. Your journey through nightly darkness isn't a curse. It's an initiation, a preparation for the extraordinary light work you came to do in this world. Now that you understand the true nature of the attacks you face during sleep, it's time to learn how to protect yourself and reclaim your power over the realm of dreams. The first and most powerful technique I'm going to share with you is creating an energetic shield before sleeping. Sit on your bed, close your eyes, and visualize a sphere of brilliant golden light completely surrounding your body. This isn't just a visualization. You're literally creating an energetic barrier that repels negative influences. While visualizing this light, repeat mentally, "I am protected by divine light. Only love and light can enter my dreams. I sleep in peace and wake renewed." Feel this light expanding to fill your entire room, creating a sacred sanctuary where only benevolent energies can enter. This simple practice, when done with genuine intention and faith, can completely transform the quality of your dreams. Remember, you're not a passive victim. You're a conscious co-creator of your dream experience, and you have every right and power to determine what kind of energies can access your space during sleep. Specific prayer for night protection is another fundamental tool that every chosen one must master. Before lying down, place your hands over your heart and recite with sincerity, "Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, I surrender myself to your protection during this night. May my spiritual guides of light form a protective circle around my bed. May only messages of love, healing, and divine guidance reach my consciousness. I transform any negative energy directed at me into pure light that returns multiplied to the universe. May my sleep be restorative, my dreams be sacred, and may I wake strengthened to fulfill my divine mission. So it is, so it shall be, so it is done." This prayer isn't just words. It's an energetic decree that activates real spiritual protections. When you pray with genuine faith, you're literally summoning higher forces for your protection. Your spiritual guides and guardian angels are always willing to help, but they respect your free will and await your conscious invitation to intervene. The physical environment where you sleep also plays a crucial role in your energetic protection. Crystals like amethyst, rose quartz, and black tourmaline possess natural properties of protection and purification that can transform your room's energy. Place an amethyst under your pillow to promote peaceful dreams and elevated spiritual connection. Position black tourmaline in the four corners of your room to create a barrier against negative energies. A rose quartz on your bedside table will radiate unconditional love and elevate the vibration of the entire space. Besides, crystals keep your room clean and organized, as messy environments attract chaotic energies. Burn white sage, incense, or Palo Santo regularly to cleanse stagnant energies. Have living plants in your room, especially lavender or rosemary, which naturally purify the air and elevate the environment's vibration. Every element you consciously add to your sleep space contributes to creating an energetic sanctuary that naturally repels negative influences. The room energetic cleansing technique should be performed at least once a week, or whenever you feel the environment's energy is heavy. Start by opening all windows to allow fresh air circulation. Light incense of your preference and walk slowly throughout the room, paying special attention to corners where negative energies tend to accumulate. While doing this, visualize the smoke carrying out all energies that don't serve your highest good. Then, clap vigorously in each corner of the room, breaking any stagnant energy that might have been trapped. Finish by spraying water with sea salt throughout the environment, declaring aloud, "This space is sacred, this space is protected, only light and love dwell here." This energetic cleansing not only removes negative influences, but also recharges the environment with fresh and positive energy that promotes restorative dreams and elevated spiritual experiences. Strengthening your connection with protective spiritual guides is essential for maintaining constant protection during sleep. Before sleeping, dedicate a few minutes to consciously connect with your spiritual protectors. It could be your guardian angel, a spiritual mentor, or even beloved ones who have passed. Talk to them mentally as if they were close friends, because that's exactly what they are. Specifically ask them to protect your dreams and guide your soul during nightly travels. Thank them for all the protection you've already received, even when you weren't conscious of it. This regular communication strengthens the energetic bond between you and your protectors, making it easier for them to intervene when necessary. Remember, you're never alone in your spiritual journey. There are always beings of light willing to help you, just waiting for your recognition and invitation to act more actively in your life. We've reached the end of this transformative revelation, but actually, this is just the beginning of your conscious journey as a light warrior who recognizes and protects their sacred gifts. You now possess the ancestral knowledge that few have access to. The understanding that your disturbing dreams aren't signs of weakness or imbalance, but powerful confirmations of your spiritual importance and your divine mission in this world. Every nightmare you faced, every interrupted night's sleep, every exhausted awakening was actually a disguised initiation, preparing you for this moment of conscious awakening. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're a chosen one who now possesses the sacred tools to transform your sleep into a sanctuary of spiritual renewal and divine growth. Always remember this fundamental truth. You're a light bearer in a world that desperately needs your elevated energy and your unique mission. The forces that try to attack you during sleep do so because they recognize the transformative power you carry within yourself. Every sabotage attempt is actually a testimony to your cosmic importance. You weren't chosen for this journey by chance. Your soul volunteered for this mission because it knew you possessed the strength, courage, and determination necessary to not only survive the challenges, but to emerge from them more powerful and more aligned with your divine purpose. Your light is necessary, your presence makes a difference, and your energetic protection doesn't just benefit you, but everyone your energy touches and inspires. Now I need you to strengthen our community of awakened souls. In the comments below, share which protection technique resonated most with your heart. This might be exactly the guidance another chosen one needs to hear today. If this video brought relief and clarity to your journey, share it with someone you know who also faces similar challenges during sleep. Your courage in spreading this wisdom might be the catalyst for another precious soul's awakening. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive more revelations that will strengthen your spiritual journey and expand your understanding of your unique gifts. And if you feel the calling to connect more deeply with our spiritual family, consider becoming a member of our community where we share advanced practices and mutual support for chosen ones like you. Together, we are stronger. Together, our light shines more intensely. Together, we fulfill our mission to elevate this planet's consciousness. May your night be blessed with sacred dreams and restorative sleep. Until our next meeting, keep your light shining. Strong Light Warrior.